This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the
San Diego Padres.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and a tough one tonight. I mean, you kind of knew it was over early. Padres chipping away, coming back late. Fernando with the home run. They hit 3 home runs as a team tonight, but the collection notice was sent, and the Padres had to pay up. That means that Stephen Kolek got beat tonight, and I'm trying to find fancy words to say it again. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla. Maybe not the way you want to, but we'll get the job done. Regards. And I'll tell you what, man, just one of these games, ugly, and you're thinking, hey, what am I going to say on the show tonight to make this one, you know, I mean, it just, there's no way to describe a game like tonight that other than to say just, it was ugly early, and it stayed ugly throughout, and it did not have the ugliness turned in our favor, is the way I would say it, all right? There you go. All right, want to thank you, and I thank you, the attitude of gratitude. That's right, for being here day in, day out. You everydayers, of course, you sometimers, once in a whilers, and all y'all, I love you guys as well. And you newbies, welcome. Bienvenidos aquí. And I'll tell you this, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. I'm here after every game with the Padres Postcast, ish, close to the end of the game, for final out, end of the game, so forth. We're here, right here with the Postcast, day in and day out, and it pretty much is every day, but sometimes every other day. Padres Podcast, your Locked On Padres Podcast, with my man Javier Reyes, same channels, so I can say same bad times, same bad channels, and all those things, but not the same bad times, the same bad channels, and we're on YouTube. After the games, I'm live on YouTube. Javi schedules his after the games, I'm live. That's the difference. You can catch this pretty face right after the games are over. You can comment live. You can hit that bell so you know when we're coming with more content. You can do all those things live right after the game, or you can wait and you can download it. You don't have to see this handsome face. You can do it just download the audio version. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, you name it. We're here for you, and we're free. Or you can, after the fact, watch it on Roku. You're down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. It used to be OPP, as you can see. But with all the gray on this face, you see, I'm just going to rhyme all night long. I'm an MC. But I'll tell you this. It was not a good night for the Padres. They chipped away offensively. They hit 3 home runs as a squad. Kolek couldn't get the job done. And there you have it, the final score. So I've already thanked you for making us your first watch or listen every day. Myself, Javier Reyes, he's been doing it since before the pandemic. We need the Padres to make some moves. You know, the NL West, the division that the Red Sox have made with Devers, with Bogarts, with Mookie Betts. I kid the Red Sox. Kind of hate the Red Sox. Anyway, but what I would like to say is that the NL West is the toughest division right now in Major League Baseball. And the Padres are ill-equipped, man. You put them in the NL Central. You put them in the AL Central. I'm not going to go so far as to say you put them in the AL East. Maybe not even the NL East, although Mets, Phillies, Padres, it'd be about the same as Dodgers, Giants, Padres. So I'd say NL East, AL East, NL West. My picks for best divisions in baseball. And the Padres are planted firmly in the NL West, and they don't have what it takes. They don't have the weapons to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? To win this war. All right, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Tonight's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins with FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. 10-6 Nats. The score is just a technicality. Sometimes, Mama told you, there'd be days like these. It's Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We're about to kick this thing into high gear. What do you say we do it now?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Nothing all that positive. You know, the Padres, like, this is kind of, you're in a Padres state of mind. There's Manny on the deck. You know what I mean? That's the way it kind of looked tonight. There's Kolek, just kind of whatever. Shifty dirty doesn't dwell. There he is. Kolek just didn't have it tonight. couldn't get it going. Fernando Tatis Jr. with another 3-run homer, his second in 3 games. Fernando Mania is wild and running free again. You got to love that. But, it was Woods, it was Bell, it was the Nats doing the damage tonight. Gavin Sheets did a nice job getting on top of a high breaking ball and, driving in a run with an RBI single. But again, it was the Nats from start to finish tonight. Jackson Merrill providing a bit of a boost to the offense as we get set to give you the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs of this one, the Padres and the Nats. What do you say we get going? Full speed ahead. Aye, aye, Captain. No doubt about it. I don't know why I'm doing this. It makes no sense to me, but hopefully you enjoy it on some level, even if you're just witnessing a grown man losing his mind on a stream that you can see on YouTube or Roku or here on Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, iHeart. At least I have channels upon which I can stream the meltdown live. Come on, here we go. StreamYard is a big source of the meltdown. Anyway, the Nats scored 4 runs in the top of the 4th. Kolek looked pretty good early on, actually. Kind of had it going a little bit, and ended up with giving up 4 earned runs, 5 hits, and 4 in the 3rd inning. Struck out 5. He's always going to strike dudes out. Mitchell Parker, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. They barely got him out of there alive, but he gave him the innings they needed. Regards, you know what I'm saying? So 10 on 15 with 1 error for the Nats, 6 on 9 for 1 for the Padres. 24 hits in this game, 15 hits for the Nats. I mean, they can rake, right? It's been their bullpen that's been the issue for them, why they've had troubles and they've been herky-jerky, but certainly fine at the dish with Adams, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored. Wood, the left fielder, the star of our show, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, had the big homer. You know what I mean? Josh Bell got in the action, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, a run scored, 2 hits and a run scored apiece for Garcia and Lowe. They also each had an RBI. So the 2 through... that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters in the Nats lineup. I mean, that's 9 of their 10 runs, the RBIs right there, and they scored 7 of them. They scored 7 of the 10 and drove in 9 of the 10. That's Wood, Garcia, Lowe, Bell, and House. He took them to the house. For the Padres, meanwhile, it was Fernando with a 3-run shot late. He had the 1 for 5 night, run scored, 3 driven in. Jackson Merrill in the 2-hole, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Manny, oh Manny, why you bugging? 1 for 5 with the RBI and the run scored for Manny. Also had the homer, as did Fernando, as did Cronenworth, 1 for 3 with the homer. Gavin Sheets, 2 for 4 with a homer. With a run scored and an RBI, not a homer for Sheets. See, I get ahead of myself. Arise, 1 for 4 on the night as well. I mentioned Kolek's line. Wandy Peralta did not have a good night. 5 hits, an earned run for him. Matsui, 4 hits, an earned run for him. Tough night as well. Hoeing, an inning and a third, scoreless appearance for him, his first game back. I want to make sure we point that out. Meanwhile, Parker, 6 innings, 6 hits for the Nationals. And again, they scored 4 runs in the 4th inning, and that was pretty much where they put the game away, even though the Pods would end up with a 6th spot. James Wood, not James Woods, James Wood, 3-run homer among his 3 hits, drove in 4 runs, scored 3 times for the Nats. Have a game, James Wood. They beat the Pods 10-6. Josh Bell, the journeyman, homered and had 3 ribbies. CJ Abrams, 3 hits, 3 times. He scored, twice on hits by Wood, ironically. Wood, Abrams, and Bell, they were involved in that blockbuster trade that sent Juan Soto from Washington to the Padres. So Wood, Abrams, and Bell all could be Padres, as could Juan Soto be a Padre. So thanks a lot for rubbing that in, guys. We love that. That was on August 2nd, 2022. Bell came with Soto, Abrams, and Wood, 6 players. The Padres, they sent to Washington. You know how the deal went. You know what I mean? And then the Padres ultimately traded Soto to the New York Yankees, and now he's with the Mets. And, yeah, we all hate Juan Soto. You know what I'm saying? So Wood with a 3-run shot off the right field foul pole, game of inches. Oh, if it could only have been inch the other way, against Yuki Matsui in the 8th inning. They didn't break the game open until much, much later. You know what I'm saying? Abrams and Lyle aboard. Bell's 10th home run in the 9th inning, went into the upper deck, and he's the king of the late home run when you're up big already. And, not just sounds like I'm taking a shot at him. And maybe I am, because I didn't like the outcome of the game, and I'm just bitter. You know what I mean? You don't see these gray hairs. You know what I'm saying? So the other thing that really got to me tonight was the error by Kolek on the 4th inning. Wood with the single, a 2-base throwing error for Kolek after Wood with the single, and Kolek throws it away. And then before you know it, it's a 4-run inning, and it's a Kolek, a 2-base throwing error by him that, keeps the inning going. And then 2 runs in the 5th with really, just 1 out and then 5 singles in a row, just chip, 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 chip. And sometimes it's what you're going to do. Meanwhile, Fernando with the monster homer in the 9th for the Padres. Manny had the homer in the 4th. Cronenworth in the 7th. Machado has 13 overall, 7 in June. He's got the second most RBIs in MLB in June. Fernando's got 15. He had the long streak. Remember 2 games ago, he broke the streak, hadn't had a homer since May 8th, and it was like 21 games and 98 plate appearances. Not that I'm a nerd or anything, but I'm a nerd in everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt. And Wood, you're watching him now going, what if we hadn't traded him in the Soto deal, and what'd you really get for that long term? And what do you have to show for it now with what you traded Soto for? And I'll let Javi sort all that out, man. That ain't for me. I'm the postcaster. It's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Say what's up in the comments, especially if you're live on YouTube and you want to see this handsome face right after the games. Here we are, of course, free on Roku. You can download us there or watch us, stream us, whatever it is the kids say these days. And you can download us and listen to us for sure on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you get your podcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease 10-6, the final. Thank you, Ryan Arroyo. I appreciate the compliment. Not a Padres fan, but keep up the great work. Appreciate that. Much appreciated, because sometimes, we fall on deaf ears and blind eyes, hopefully, for some of you. Anyway, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. A couple of deals to tell you about, a couple of great sponsors to kick you up on game with regard to. And then we wrap it up with your turning point, with your player of the game, with your look ahead to tomorrow. Padres Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And this is the point in the show when I get to ask you a question, my friends and friendlets. If you're looking for a snack, are you? The question, pregunta. Are you looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful pistachios, one of the highest protein nuts. I love them. Look at the guns. Sun's out, guns out, baby. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you, me, and all of us over 10% of our daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and the better for you unsaturated fats to help you feel fuller longer. I love the no shells variety. It's the perfect grab and go snack on my busy days. I'm always snacking at my desk, getting ready to bring you the greatest in post-game coverage of Major League Baseball history. If I'm on a road trip or I just need a quick protein boost, they are always my go-to. And when I love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, I have to take a little drink first to do it justice. The in-shell options are a classic favorite. See, it was worth the pause dramatically to get the water. My other talking points, Mr. Script Man, are the fact that wonderful pistachios are a complete protein, providing all 9 essential amino acids. How do they pack such a protein punch? Again, sun's out, guns out. Grab and go ease, no shells, or the satisfying crack of the opening shell. You got to love that as well. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that works as hard as you do and that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more about wonderful pistachios. Are there any other kind? On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Also, we know that the summer sports are in full swing. We do a baseball show, hello, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, I suppose there is such a thing, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already throwing the action. Following it, that is. Why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Who needs all that anyway? We live in San Diego. It's just like, come on, we're already here. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events, and that's really what matters more than anything when you're doing a long season, right? Night in, night out, day in, day out. That's why you're here with the postcast, day in and day out, night in and night out with me, right? For example, whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right into the 9th inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. Hey, for example, if I had Fernando Tatis to hit a home run, or you know what I mean, the Padres to score more than a run after the 5th inning or whatever it is, I'd have been cool either way with FanDuel. And if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5, make you holler, and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today. That's right. Or visit FanDuel.com to get started with FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network. You know the drill, team every single day without a day off, anytime, anywhere, ever. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Lots to do, short time to do it in. 10-6. Nats with the win. Fernando, the late home run. Manny hit one. Cronenworth hit one as well. Gavin Sheets, a pair of hits. You know, the lineup switch with Luis Arraez hitting in the 4-hole. I love you, Shilty, for trying to shake things up. You get Jackson Merrill coming back. You swap him and Arraez. He and Arraez. And Arraez is not a cleanup hitter, just as he's not a first baseman. You're not getting power out of first base, which you got your average hitting guy there, not as in he's average, as in he hits for average, Luis Arraez. I mentioned the side-by-sides with Tony Gwynn at this point in his career, about dead even last night, if that tells you anything, and you should be paying attention. If it's not, we're witnessing greatness on almost unmistakable for sure, but almost unmatched greatness throughout the history of baseball. And what we have in Luis Arraez, crazy, right? But doesn't make him a cleanup hitter, doesn't make him a first baseman. Love to see Cronenworth part of the package. Arraez back to second, power hitting first baseman. Good left fielder, you know, give me someone who's a 6 or 7 hole guy, solid 20 to 30 bombs hitting 270. Give me that guy. Give me that guy in left. Give me a great first baseman, or flip-flop the two. Give me the first baseman who hits 6th or 7th and move Arraez to second. Give me a lefty, you know, in the rotation, a good one, a solid guy, 10, 12, 15-game winner, you know, although with the major leaguers the way they are now and the inning constraints and everything else, for God's sake, who even knows? But I do know this, as constructed, these Padres are going nowhere and doing nothing. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. They lose again tonight, 10-6. Look, I don't want to be a negative Nelly up here, but they are what they are at this point, right? Am I wrong? No, I'm not. I'll answer that for you. I am not wrong. When it comes to things like this, I mean, look, you are 5.5 games in back of the Dodgers right now. 3.5 games are the Giants out. So you're 2 games behind the Giants, 5.5 behind the Dodgers, 2 ahead of the D-bags. You know what I mean? You're not going anywhere. You're treading water. You're not a good enough offense to beat teams consistently night in and night out when your pitching staff isn't on its A game. Your bullpen's been great most of the year, but has had the occasional meltdown, especially your closer, Robert Suarez, right? And Jason Adam walking guys, hit batsmen, leading off innings. Very disconcerting, the 2-out rallies. But look, the bullpen could be bolstered, especially with a lefty. You're missing Tanner Scott big time. And the ability of a guy like him to close when Adam clearly is not in that mindset right now, and then Suarez with the blown saves. You'd really love to have Tanner Scott back. You'd love to have a frontline lefty in the rotation. You'd love to have 2 more bats in the lineup. But then again, I'd love to have a house on the hill or looking over at the city from Coronado like Manny Machado. I'd love to have that house. You know what I mean? Manny with 1,990 career hits, 355 homers, more than I have in the major leagues. So he earned that house and that view. He can become the 12th player to reach 350 homers and 2,000 hits at age 32 or younger. Hall of Fame level numbers. Look, I'd love to see Arraez in the 2-hole. I'd love to see Merrill in the 5-hole. I'd love to see a great cleanup hitter. I'd love to see a great 6-hole guy behind Merrill. That's what I'd love to see. Xander could be that dude. He didn't get 280 over 11 for nothing, man. He killed it. He raked with the Sox. The Sox, yeah. Fueling the National League West with Xander, with Mookie, and with Devers, the Boston Red Sox. Their fans got to love this. But their fans are actually happy with getting rid of Devers for nothing because they're morons. But they're also like, oh, he wasn't a team player. He didn't want to play first base like they asked him to. So never mind him and his 350 average and 90 million homers. And no, we don't need him. It's kind of funny. Red Sox fans. They want to win, but they want to do it with honor, with dignity, with class. Meanwhile, they have none of the above. Just kidding. Love you. My whole family's Red Sox fans. That's why I can say it. Anyway, Trevor Williams and Ryan Bergert are scheduled to start tomorrow in the second game of the series. As for this one, it's a moot point. I mean, we're trying to do anything we can. No lipstick on the pig in this one. So what do you say we get to what we have to get to, and then we get on out of here, right? What do you think, Peter Lee? Padres aren't playing well right now. No, they're not. But they don't have the best lineup. They're missing a couple bats in there. You know, the whole Hayward Lockridge failure, that's a stain on the organization, right? You've seen Moneyball. Everybody's watched it. Billy Beane, not everyone's the Dodgers, and now the guy buys the Lakers. But not everyone's the Dodgers. Not everyone can be paying players from overseas tens of millions of dollars, like pushing the contracts out and deferring them until their grandkids can go gamble with Ohtani's money and say it was the trainer or the interpreter, whoever it was allegedly. You know what I mean? They can all do that 4 generations from now if you're the Dodgers. But in the world in which the rest of us are inhabitants and are trying to compete, the Padres have spent a lot of money. They have stars on this team, superstars, Fernando and Manny, and one on the rise in Jackson Merrill. 2 outstanding pitchers in King and Cease, a great closer in Suarez, and a setup guy in Adam. Really good bullpen. Bogart's on a huge deal. You can't afford to miss on that when you're the Padres, and they've missed at this point with the deal with Bogarts. Arise, huge as well, but he doesn't give you the power numbers and the ribbies, and that's a trade-off, right, for a guy with the average. But it's a trade-off. You give them 2 more bats in this lineup and a lefty in the rotation, they could beat the Dodgers. They could beat anybody. But without those 3 things, I don't think they can. And I think they know that, which is why I don't think you're going to see them make huge splashes, because I think they know that regardless of what they do right now, they have to be a team that you see every year in Major League Baseball. They have to be a team that gets hot late. The Mets did it last year, for example, a team that really gets hot late. The Padres did it last year. They got a rise in May. They did the deal for Scott and Hoying. They brought over Jason Adam. They went nuts. And you could see that happening again, right? As the numbers increase and the audience goes through the roof, I want to remind you to please, if you're watching live on YouTube, smash that subscribe for us, become part of the family, hit the bell so you get the alerts when we're coming your way with more content, and come on in the chat and say what's up to your boy. Couple of things to do, short time to do it, and we start with the play upon which this game was won.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
See, what should we say was the turning point tonight? I mean, because the Padres scored 5 times in the last 3 innings of this game, it really was the 2-run 5th inning for the Nats that put this game away. And in that 2-run 5th inning, it was where are we? It was the Garcia Jr. single and the Bell single that gave them those 5th and 6th runs. So that 2-run inning for the Nats is the turning point. And next we have,
this is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Fernando hit a 3-run homer tonight for the Padres. Manny hit a homer. Cronenworth hit a homer as well. Gavin Sheets had 2 hits. Josh Bell had a big game for the Nationals. And really a big one for him. But the player of the game, as you just saw right there, was their number 2 hitter, James Wood. Dude, 6'7", 234, looking like Dave Winfield up there. If you remember Dave Winfield, give me a hell yeah. But James Wood with a big-time game tonight for the Nats, and they were annoying like Nats tonight. Wood went 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, had the homer, average up to 294. He is balling. All right, tomorrow, we love you tomorrow. You're only a day away, and thank God, because the Padres can get right back out. Look, they got to tread water. They got to stay alive right now. Bee Gees, staying alive. Got to do it. Got to stay alive right now. And until you bring in the reinforcements, if you bring in the reinforcements, you got to do it. 6:40 tomorrow is when we have first pitch, and Wednesday it'll be a 1:10 first pitch. But as for tomorrow, 6:40, Ryan Bergert on the mound for the Pods, 1-0, 1.88 ERA. And Trevor Williams, 3-8 with a 5.54 will pitch for the Nats. We'll be here right after with your Padres postcast. Until then, as always, thank you so much for being here. Whether you're watching live on YouTube, smash subscribe, hit the bell so you get the alerts. Come on in, say hello to your boy in the comments. Whether you're on Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, iHeart, you're downloading, you're listening, you don't see this handsome face, it's on you, but you still love it. The numbers are huge. Thank you so much there. We're free. Come on in, say hi there. We'll also talk to you there. And, of course, you can do it on Roku. You down with OTT? Used to be OPP. Yeah, you know me. This whole party is a party in the Gaslamp. Every night, win or lose with the Dre's. All right, the final score, 10-6. The Nationals with the win tonight. Tomorrow, the Pods look to even the series. And we will have the postcast right after. Until then, Padre fan, as always, thank you for being here, and keep your game tight and your mind right, baby. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. I am out.